hi, welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. Still got the balloons? Actually, I'll let you into a little secret. I recorded this one immediately after the last one. Anyway, these last few weeks, I've talked about 7 of Jesus' disciples. Peter, Andrew, James, John, Simon, Matthew and Thomas. Today, I'm going to squeeze 4 in. Philip, Nathaniel, another James, and a guy called Jude. The Bible has differing amounts of information in it for each of the disciples, and these 4, they really have the least information about them. Over the years, people have gathered information from different ancient writings and from stories passed on in different countries even, and in different churches, and by looking at different ways that the Bible texts might be interpreted. But I'm just going to stick to what we know from the Bible for the most part of what I'm going to say today. Philip came from a family of fishermen and interestingly was someone that Jesus personally sought out and invited him to join in his teaching. He seems to have been a very practical guy, possibly involved in organising provisions for the group, because at one point there's a story about Jesus asking Philip about how to get food for many thousands of people. And this was just before Jesus performed an amazing miracle at which he fed all of those thousands of people just from the lunchbox of one small boy. We also know that Philip introduced Nathaniel to Jesus, and Nathaniel became one of the other disciples. There's a very poignant comment actually from Jesus to Nathaniel. At one point Jesus said to him, or described him as a true believer in Israel. Really special words. And just before that, what Nathaniel had done was declare that Jesus was the Son of God. Nathaniel also seems to have been called at times Bartholomew. I'm not clear exactly why. Some have argued whether these are 2 different people, but for the most part, people believe that they're 2 names for the same person. Then there's James and Judas, both sons of a man called Alphaeus, so they were brothers, and this Judas was often referred to by the name Jude. It's a different person if you know the final disciple who I'll talk about next week, Judas Iscariot, who was probably the most notorious of all of them. This is a different Judas, which is why he's often called Jude. And this James is a different James to the one I talked about several weeks ago. This one is sometimes called James the Lesser. And I think that's largely because the other one is usually called James the Greater. We know that this James and Jude were brothers. We also see them referred to as brothers of Jesus. But exactly what family connection may have existed between them isn't clear, because the language could equally mean cousins, and there has been a tradition that these could well have been Jesus' cousins, but whatever. In the case of all 4 of these disciples, though, when the church started to spread, they all travelled and they taught and they grew churches in many different countries. Libya, Armenia, India, Syria, Mesopotamia, Egypt and Greece are just some of the places that they went with the message from Jesus and Christianity. Tradition passes down to us that Philip became a martyr and was killed for his faith. Similarly, James the Lesser was probably martyred in Egypt, and Jude in Beirut. Nathaniel is reputed to have died in India. Now, we might not know a lot about these 4, but there's something really important in that, I think, for me. Not everyone is a headline in life. There are amazing people in this world who have been a massive influence on my life, and yet their names may never be known. So this week, I've got a little challenge for you. Think back to someone who has had a really positive, life-changing influence on you. Maybe it was just a word or comment or something that they did. Now think, they probably have no idea that they did that, or that they said that, or the impact it had on you. So this is my challenge. If you can think of something like that, and I've done it, I did it recently, it was really great. See if you can contact them. And if you can, send them a thank you. It might be a card, an email, a phone call, a text, doesn't matter. Tell them what it was that influenced you and about the impact it's had on you, and thank them. You never know, it might just really make their day. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and God bless you.